Hey guys, for today's lesson, I'm going to cover off a basic leg drag you can use in no-gi. This is a pretty fast way to pass the guard, and I find if you do it quickly and properly, it's pretty hard to defend as well. I'm going to be in my passing position. So in this case, my left leg is forward. Most people are going to pass the guard this way, as a bit of a side note as well. So I want to get Ryan's ankle with my leading hand, being my left hand in this case. My right hand is going to go thumb together behind his leg, and I'm going to reach right through. So if I was doing it on this side, it'd be right through like this. So I reach through. I'm going to use my hip to start moving his leg forward. As I push his leg forward and take the tension away, I'm going to be able to drag it across my body. Once I get to the outside, I then step forward with my right leg and drive my knee to the mat. Once my knee's on the mat on this side, I can safely pass around. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Just a fundamental leg drag from passing the open guard in no-gi. We're going to cover off a steamer lock today. So a really good submission you can do against the free leg when your opponent plays various kinds of open guards. So we'll cover that now.
Your love is rated X. That means you're extra extraordinary.
There's a few ways you can do this, and the best way, if you're really going to try and do it in competition, is the same side. So I would attack Ryan's left leg with my right arm. So my right arm would come around the ankle, and I would use a Darth-shaped grip like this, trapping the foot onto my stomach and extending through. So the defense to this is people can invert to escape, but in reality, in competition, if I slam this on, or if I sit into it, then I'm going to have time to invert out of it. So in training, you might not get it as much, but definitely in competition, if you're going for it 100%, you're going to hurt someone's ankle. So it's a really good submission. It works particularly well against the free leg in various open guards, in particular, reverse de la Riva. So anytime my opponent puts his foot on me to manage distance sideways, I can attack the steamer lock. So you can attack it on your side. You can attack it this way, but if you're really going for it, this way is much better. So I'm trapping the foot under my body, using my Darth grip. Often I'll just hold my shoulder here rather than the leg, but you can do either. Now I'm going to walk into him and lift. This will attack the joint here. You'll see when I do this in competition in particular, I'll sit into it as well. It gives me a whole lot of leverage to attack that joint. It's much more similar to a toe hold position than a straight ankle lock. And as a result, the ankle is quite weak that way. So people actually have a pretty strong ankle in this direction, but anytime it's on the side, like a side kick, it's extremely exposed and very, very vulnerable to being attacked as well. So the steamer lock, one that I'd recommend you get proficient at, because it's a really good opportunity that pops up, especially when you're passing the guard. For example, anytime my opponent cross steps. So if I'm passing the guard this way, and he starts to cross step that foot across, I can attack it and get a quick submission. Thanks guys, hope you enjoyed today's lesson on the steamer lock. If you have any questions, flick us a quick message or leave a comment below.
Yeah, mate. Your hip. Your hip.
Hey guys, hope you're well. Today we are going to look at a pretty simple entry from the closed guard using the overhook, and I'm going to show a triangle submission from there. Alright, so starting in the closed guard position, I want to get an overhook on whichever arm I personally prefer to attack with, which is my opponent's left arm. So I end up overhooking my opponent's arm with my right arm. So I want to try and get their hands off my body any way I can. Once I can establish this here, I overhook the arm and I try and make a fist. I try and glue this fist like to my chest area, chest or sternum area. And with my elbow, I try and pull my elbow into the side of my body. I don't want Adam to be able to pull his arm out here. If he can do that, yeah. Then I have to start this whole sequence again. So I'm gonna try and make a fist and pull my elbow to my own body. Making it hard for him to pull his arm out. With my free hands, a couple of things will usually happen. Adam will either try and keep his arm on the inside here to try and pry my guard open. That's fine, I can just get a grip on his wrist with my thumb facing towards him. I try and cut my angle so that I'm out a little bit to the side rather than staying square to him. I come out over to the overhook side, and all I'm going to do is try and push his hand back through between my legs as I shoot my hips up nice and high here. So I just catch the triangle position. I'm not even actually locking up the triangle yet. I'm just locking up basically a high closed guard with one arm in and one arm out here. When I go to adjust the triangle, I want to control my opponent's posture, so I don't want him to be able to posture up as I move, because I can't really finish the triangle from this position. So I'm going to go 2 hands to the back of his head, and I'm going to just like keep his head on my body. If I don't do this and he can posture up out of this position, he can start to break this configuration with my legs, and I'm back to square one. So before I start moving, I want to establish some kind of control over his head. I then can undo this configuration, so I can undo my guard or my legs. My right foot can come to his left hip, and I can start to cut the angle that I need to. So try and cut my 90-degree angle here. I can then lock my legs back up. With my left arm, I'm going to try and underhook either his arm, or if I can, underhook his leg. And then I'm going to try and scissor my feet kind of like this to finish the triangle. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed the technique today. Hey guys, today I'm going to take you through a blueprint of how to design your own strength program for Jiu-Jitsu. So we're going to cover 5 sort of main movements. So we're going to cover a push, a pull, a hinge, a squat, and then some core exercises as well. So number 1, pushing movements. So anything pushing is going to engage your chest and obviously your shoulders as well. It's important to have a strong shoulder girdle in Jiu-Jitsu, especially mostly to prevent injury. There's 2 sort of planes of motion I can obviously do with a push. So I can do a vertical push, so something overhead, like a strict press, a handstand push-up, that sort of thing. I can also do a horizontal push. So usually when I'm laying flat on my back, a good example of this would be a bench press with either dumbbells or the barbell, or even a push-up. Number 2 is any sort of pulling motion. Again, with pulls, we have sort of like a vertical pull, so anything that I'm pulling something from over my head down towards my body, again, or a horizontal pull, so usually like some kind of rowing action. To have a strong back in Jiu-Jitsu is quite important. It's not essential, but it's quite important. Obviously, a lot of movements that we do are orientated around like pulling something towards you, usually someone's arm or something like that, for example in an arm drag. Movements you can do, pull-ups probably the best one. You can also do any kind of rowing movement, so like a bent over barbell row or a dumbbell row, something of that nature. Number 3 is the hinge. So any kind of movement, kind of like the deadlift or a kettlebell swing. These are 2 quite good examples. Hinging is important to obviously develop the glutes, so having a strong glute and posterior chain, so your hamstrings as well. Number 4, the squat. So many different variations you can do for one very simple movement. You can do a body weight squat, you can do a goblet squat with the kettlebells, you can do a front squat with the barbell or a back squat with the barbell. Having strong legs in general is going to be quite good for jiu-jitsu, mostly to prevent injury. Obviously a lot of leg attacks and that sort of thing are quite common nowadays. So just giving your body the best chance to stay injury-free by keeping it strong, using the squatting motion, is going to obviously be quite beneficial to keeping you on the mats longer. Number 5 is core conditioning. So it's important to have a strong core in jiu-jitsu. There is a lot of repeated sort of sit-up motions, especially if you're playing things like the guard and that sort of thing. It's also important to have a strong core for to be able to stay on balance. So when someone's trying to sweep you or take you down, it's important to obviously be able to stabilize and have a strong core in those positions so that you can not only fight the sweep or the takedown, but recover and then get back to an attacking position. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please either send us a message or comment below.